Hey everyone, welcome back to my CFL picks for week number 9. Last week was a rough week. We only went 1-3 thanks in large part to Edmonton scoring a touchdown with 1 second left to get the backdoor cover against the Argos. We're going to start with the Thursday night game, however. That features the BC Lions coming off a win versus Calgary, traveling to Montreal to take on an Anthony Calvillo-less Alouettes team. The backup for Calvillo did not look good in the second half against Saskatchewan, fumbling the ball away, throwing interceptions. But it's going to be a different game playing at home. The Lions are 9-point favorites, and they're firing on all cylinders right now, playing their best football of the year ever since they took a defeat at Toronto on a Tuesday night to Zach Claros. I like the Lions to win and cover in this game. I just think that the fact that Jim Popp is not a very good head coach, he hasn't been a good head coach in either of his stints taking over as the interim head coach, and you don't know what you're going to get from a Alouettes quarterback. The likelihood that he has success is very low, so I'll take the Lions giving 9 points. We move into Wendy's Friday Night Football, where there's just one game tonight. Tomorrow night, the Argos host the Calgary Stampeders. Stampeders coming off a 4-point loss to the BC Lions, while the Argos beat the Eskimos at home last Sunday. Ricky Ray has been on fire. He's completing 78% of his passes and has yet to throw an interception. I don't know what's more impressive there. If you want to weigh in, you can tweet me at astock3, or you can just comment on the video. Now, the last time the Argos faced an elite running back was when the Saskatchewan Roughriders and Corey Sheets ran all over their defense. The big change from that game was that Brandon Isaac is no longer on the Argos defense, so it'll be interesting to see what they do against an elite running back such as John Cornish. Unfortunately for Calgary, John Cornish is listed as questionable, so that makes this one a little more difficult to pick without knowing he's in. If he is in, I do like the Stampeders to cover the 2.5 points. I just don't think that the Argos can expect the same type of play from Ricky Ray. He's going to have to drop off one of these weeks. Why not against a very good Calgary team that's got some of the best special teams in the league, with a kicker, Rennie Paredes, that has not missed a kick, according to CFL rulebooks, in a long time, even though he had one blocked, and Rob Maver, the former Guelph Griffin punter, who's one of the league's best, along with Larry Taylor, who's a threat to take the ball to the house every single time he touches it. I also think that you're going to see better play out of Kevin Glenn, who struggled at the end of the last game against BC, squandering a fourth quarter comeback last minute drive when he blew too many when he led a disorganized offense and wasted about 20 seconds that could have been the difference between a win and a loss. We move to Saturday afternoon, where the Winnipeg Blue Bombers and Hamilton Ticats have a rematch from last week's game, where the Ticats won 38-18 in Winnipeg against Max Hall, who's making his first start for the Blue Bombers. Hall was one of 3 quarterbacks played by the Blue Bombers, who also played their starter from the beginning of the year, Buck Pearson, in relief of Hall for one series, and went to Justin Goltz for a few plays too. Hall was made the starting quarterback after the intern head coach gave him the offense coordinator, the decision to choose his starter. He chose Hall, and after last week's blowout loss, he got the boot and is now looking for a job somewhere else. The offense has no consistency. Their only win came when their defense absolutely dominated Montreal and got 7 sacks. So the only way they're going to win this game is on defense and special teams. Now they are 10-point dogs, but even then I like the Ticats to cover the 10 points. Henrik Burns has been great. He's leading the league in passing. He's limited his turnovers, and they have maybe the best receiving core in all of the CFL. Fantuz is getting healthier. Ellington's been great out of the slot. Bakari Grant might be one of the best wide receivers in the game since coming over from the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. So take the Ticats, give the 10 points. Now let's move on to the last game of the week, where the Rough Riders are 4-point favorites heading into Edmonton to take on the Worst team in the West, the Eskimos. The Eskimos have covered their two latest games against the Argos and Ticats, and it's also been the 2 weeks where the Rough Riders have been at their worst. I expect that to change. I expect the Rough Rider team that dominated the first few weeks of the season to come back. Corey Sheets is looking to break 1,000 yards in just 8 games. He's on an amazing pace. And Darian Durant must bounce back if they want to cover. He has been sloppy his last few games, throwing incompletions and interceptions, and needs to hold onto the ball. He got lucky last week to be able to get that fourth quarter comeback due to sloppy Montreal play that turned the ball over more than he did. So those are my picks for this week. Just to run over them real quick again. Lions -9 at Ouettes. Stampeders +2.5 at Argos on Friday. Saturday it's the Blue Bombers at Ticats. Ticats -10. And the Rough Riders -4 at Eskimos. That's this week in the CFL.